Is it possible that in the next 5 minutes, you can listen to a power talk that can transform your day into a positive, creative, and result-oriented day? If you're still in doubt, then welcome to the maiden edition of our daily inspirational program, King's Power Drive. This is a program from the King, by a King, and for Kings. My name is John Rex, and today let's learn about the power of the spoken word. People say talk is cheap, but the truth is, are words actually cheap? Let's find out. In the Bible's book of Hebrews 11:3, we are made to understand that even the world we live in was brought into existence by the word of God. And the book of Genesis made this explicitly clear to us in the first chapter. And so, if everything we are seeing in the world we live in came into existence by the spoken word of God, then that means there is an invisible energy backing up the words released by God that shapes the things in the physical, and that energy is also available to us by the virtue of our being smaller gods, bigger God, according to the same Genesis 1:26-27. And that is why we have to be very careful about what comes out of our mouths. Because whether we realize it or not, our world, both individual and holistic, is being shaped, transformed, and conformed to what comes out of us. As an integral part of what makes up the whole of the over 7 billion people on the earth's surface. And what is more, when we come together in agreement to say or speak anything, it certainly comes to bear faster. Why? That is because the Bible even the Bible even talks concerning the prayer of agreement taught by Jesus in Matthew 18:19, that if we open our mouths to say or agree on anything, it will certainly come to stay. There is a power that activates our prayer of agreement, which comes from God and binds it together and brings it to bear. And so, before we open our mouth to say something negative to a friend, a child, or even a nation that we live in, let's take a pause and think right, because words can actually be very expensive. And talk is not that cheap after all. In the Bible's book of Proverbs 18:21, we're made to understand that death and life lies in the power of the tongue. A Japanese scientist by the name Masaru Emoto performed some of the most fascinating experiments on the effects that words have on energy in the 1990s. When frozen water, for example, that's free from all impurities, will form beautiful ice crystal that looks exactly like snowflakes under a microscope. Water that's polluted or has additive like fluoride will freeze without forming crystals. In this experiment, Emoto poured pure water into vials labeled with negative phrases like "I hate you," "You're good for nothing," "Fear," "Stupid," etc. And guess what? After 24 hours, the water was frozen and no longer crystallized under the microscope. It yielded gray mishap clumps instead of a beautiful lace-like crystals. In contrast, Emoto placed a different label that said positive things like "I love you," "peace," "you are so good," just positive things on vials of the same polluted water. And after 24 hours, they produce gleaming, perfectly hexagonal crystals. Emoto's experiment proved that energy generated by positive or negative words can actually change the physical structure of an object. In another experiment, Emoto tested the power of spoken words. He placed 2 cups of cooked white rice in 2 separate mason jars and fixed the lid in place, labeling one jar "Thank you" and the other "You fool." And guess what? The jars were left in an elementary school classroom, and the students were instructed to speak the words on the labels to the corresponding jars twice a day. After 30 days, the rice in the jar that was constantly insulted had shriveled into a black gelatinous mass The rice in the jar that was tanned was as white and fluffy as the day it was made. Wonderful, isn't it? How many times a day do we throw our words away when we say things like, I hate my hair, oh, I'm so stupid, oh, I don't like myself, oh, I'm ugly, I'm this and that, and we never pause or stop to think that these words bring negative effect on us.